chosen ones, empaths, and all the genuine souls, they didn't take it seriously. When you decided to go silent, they didn't take it seriously. They were laughing at it. They didn't think you had it in you to go silent. That's why I want to encourage all of you that are in the place of going silent on the narcissist. You're in a good place, all right? Like, they don't, like, even if they're laughing at this moment in time, right? Just stick to it, all right? They'll soon realize this silence becomes their worst nightmare, all right? And those of you that are further along in your journey, who are at complete contentment, and you've gone silent, and it's your lifestyle now, you know, a lot of you may have seen reactions from the narcissist, baiting, provoking, reactions from the narcissist. This is the thing. So just understand that they did take it as a joke. Okay, like they have this thing in their minds that you're like, you can't live without them, and that's why I really try and emphasize that you can live without them. God or the universe is showing you that you can live without them, and it all starts with this thought process where you begin your journey and going silent, and you all know what you're talking about, like what I'm talking about, otherwise you wouldn't have clicked this video. Okay, what I would say is, learn from the experience of others. What is going to benefit you by going backwards or by letting them back in your life? I understand it's difficult when it's family, especially. Family can be a very confusing one. A lot of the time, the romantic relationships is more psychological, that keeps you bound. But with family, you're kind of enmeshed with family. You can't choose your family. You don't choose your family. And another thing with romantic relationships is sometimes you blame yourself after that, through the experience. So really, it's about having positive thinking through this silence as well, and looking beneath the veil. All right, looking beneath the veil and seeing, you know, the shadow play that they're doing, even if they're the one who triggered the silence first. Okay, like, this is what they do. They do reverse hoovers. They will go silent on you to bait you into a reaction. And that's why when that last message come through from them, in whichever situation, or that last time they saw you, or that last phone call, and then now it's been however long it's been, and you've been silent. Initially, they just thought that you was just, you know, oh, they're angry, let them calm down, they'll be back. They're used to you coming back. Those of you that have been in off and on again relationships with narcissists know what it's like to go back. And honestly, there's nothing, you don't gain anything from it. You really don't gain anything from it. So lose that desire. Okay, be sincere. I used to always talk about door slam, bolt and weld it shut. All right, this is what it is. It will happen. Like, what I've noticed, there's a pattern, like a trend that I see. Not a trend, that's the wrong word, but like, I see a pattern in people that I've spoken to, that they do end up in the cycle of off and on again, but they all eventually get to the place when they door slam, bolt and weld it shut. And that's why I think the chosen one empath, a genuine soul, can tolerate a lot of, they see the best in people, you see the best in people, and that's what keeps you kind of bound as well. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you see the best in people, but from this experience, you will start to see more correctly, seeing narcissists everywhere, seeing toxic people everywhere, and learning how to stay away. So just touching on the family situation or friends, like, it can be harder to break the chains of these relationships in some sort of way. It can be harder to break the relationship, but really, even if you go out quietly, stop meeting your friends. Start by doing that. If you have to do it slowly to get to the point of going total silence phase people out. Okay, I've had people that I've had to phase out in my life. Okay, I didn't realize I was doing it, but it's just phasing people out. No, I'm not coming there. No, I'm not going out today. No, I don't want to meet you. Like, just being distant, and eventually they go away. See what I'm saying? So that's an option for you. All right, but really, if you can get to the place where you're in silence, okay, that's where you want to be. And the narcissist will start to realize after the first few, the phone calls aren't coming through from you no more. They're gonna start thinking you're not turning up at their house, you're not messaging them, you're not doing these things. Okay, I don't know exactly what happened, but you may be on the back end of some disagreement, some chaotic situation, and then you've gone into silence. They still expected you to come and pursue, and that's why they was laughing, because they've gauged this effort in you before. Like, you were always willing to meet halfway and beyond that in situations. And sometimes the chosen one empath and genuine soul is self-sacrificial. And I don't want to say that in the wrong context, because you might take it in the wrong way. Maybe I should use another word. Like, you will apologize sometimes for things that are the other people's fault. And that's what they expect from you. And if you've done that to a genuine person, if a genuine person knew they'd done wrong, and you apologize, like, oh, sorry, they would say, no, it's my fault. And you'll be like, no, but I done this. And then they'll be like, no, but I done that. And, and then you'll be on. Narcissist sits there and thinks, I got away with it. So they're used to you coming back and apologizing. They're used to you doing it. So I want you to be encouraged to stick to what you're doing. Stick to this silence. Okay, it's their worst nightmare. Like, this is how you're heard. This is how you're heard. This is how they register what you've been saying previously. Okay, they panic. They lost grips of you, and they don't have ways back in. Some of you have changed your number. Some of you have moved location. Some of you have moved on in your lives, and like, you're distant from them, and they don't have a way in. Okay, they don't have a way in. And what I would say is, I had a friend and we went our separate ways, but it kind of got rid of toxic people that were around the both of us. He went his separate way, I went my separate way. And I've always said to him, and I think it's an underlying knowing that he knows as well, that it wasn't intentional. It just happened to be that way. And that's also why I always talk about trusting the process, because as much as I may give you ideas of things like that, it's going to happen in one way, shape or form. You're going to get rid of the narcissist. All right. You're not staying lifelong in this situation. You've already come so far. You're watching videos. You may be reading books. You're learning from your own experience. You've already come so far. So don't worry if the narcissist isn't taking you serious at this moment in time and they're laughing at you. Don't worry, you'll have the last laugh. Alright? This is why I always talk about the people that I've spoken to. It shocked me a lot of these times when people have spoken to me and told me the amount of periods of time the narcissists have popped up after, in the comment section, in sessions, and things like this. I've heard from a lot of people, narcissists popping back up, right? And this is because they finally thought, right, they're going to try and bridge that gap. And they may have been stubborn for years, right? Or not clueless of how to work a way in, okay? There was one narcissist that approached the family house, okay? And said, tried to do some pity plea to the family, trying to get in touch with the person they were with after 20 years. This is like, so all of you that are like some years out, some months out, or weeks out, or days out, I don't know where exactly are you on the journey. Like, of course, you're not going to see these things straight away, but you're all going to get to the place where you don't even want to see them things. You don't want to hear from them. Do you know how weird it will be if someone from, do you know, like, this is what happens. All right, I've seen it. All right, I've seen it's messed up. Okay, it's messed up what they do, and it's the silence gets the better of them. It becomes their worst nightmare. All right, and like another way you could phase out as well is especially those of you that are very active on social media. You're at the start of it. The narcissist is looking at your stuff. You're looking at their stuff. Stepping away from social media, deactivating your account will totally confuse them. They're going to be thinking, are they blocked? Even if they make fake profiles, then they're going to look, you're not there. They're going to be confused. They're going to say, oh, they've deactivated their account. But then they get like, what are you doing? You see? And what I would say is, you know, we're all work in progress, right? But I've noticed that you might say, but hey, Zion, you do YouTube, but I don't actively use social media, and I never have. And it's always made me, and this is why, like, what I'm saying is, you might enjoy social media, you might use it for your business or your work, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is, if you're using it solely for the purpose of the narcissist, you really need to try and limit that. That is the you know, you're gonna have some withdrawal. That is the toxic nature that needs to be broken. Okay, I don't want you being silent, having all that power in your hands, and breaking it in your own self. All the work you're putting in to be silent, and then you're looking at the narcissist and hurting yourself. All right, your focus should be on yourself. If it means you have to deactivate your account for 90 days, right, and focus on other things, then do that. Okay, that's what I'm saying, because I've seen through my own journey, like friends and other people, like old friends and things like that. I don't know if they're narcissists, just toxic or whatever. Like they try to get in contact after long periods of time when you're not on social media or they don't have a way in. Okay, you know, it's just weird, all right? And people ask a lot of questions about you as well when you're just away from people, don't know what you're doing. And you could just be chilling at home, you know? You could just be chilling at home, right? Having your dinner, watching TV, watching a movie or whatever. See what I mean? It's like, you remember you need to go through the process of letting your brain filter out all this shit and, excuse my language, but like, and heal. You know, you're going to go through that. So don't get involved with this, you know, shadow play that the narcissist tries to do in reverse hoovering you, in trying to put you through pain by being silent. Like you go in your direction and show them what silence really means, because they're the one who's addicted to you. They're the one who needs you in their life. Okay? They're the one that struggles, and this becomes their worst nightmare because they were always used to you reaching out. They were always used to you bridging that gap. So don't leave it to them in that sense, like you want them to reach out or try and bridge that gap, or you just want an apology. Like, they're going to come in some weird way if they do. All right, I assure you, most likely they'll come in some weird way or not sincere way if they are apologizing. So you really just, you don't want these types of characters around your life. And it's like, do you know what, right? I made some videos a long time ago and I was saying like, you're still in love with the narcissist, and some people liked it, but what I have a feeling is some sessions that I do with people, I ask them, are you still in, they still love the narcissist in some sort of way, but I don't know how to try and, like, if any of you are feeling that fondness, look, whether it's a family member, friend, you can have love for them, or a romantic relationship, if you still have love for them, I want you to understand that when you're going through this grieving process, through the silence, you're doing this stuff, your mind is filtering out, the love will become non-existent. All right? So don't be too much inclined with those thoughts that you're like, don't ponder on them thoughts so much. You don't really need to, because it's going to become non-existent. You're not always going to yearn for the narcissist. Okay? You're not always going to yearn for the narcissist. And by doing what you're doing, by going silent, by going in your own direction, by realizing you don't need to speak to them, by understanding, having a knowing this is their worst nightmare, that you're no longer talking to them, even if they ghosted you, even if they discarded you, and you're not trying to bridge the gap, you're not chasing them. This is excruciating. It's their worst nightmare. And really just trust the process, because the romantic relationship, you will fall out of love. You're not gonna, you're not falling in love again, like with them in a situation when you're separate. Like, it will fade. So get behind that and say, like, if you're having those thoughts, like, you still love them, like, what do you love about them? Like, what? Like, break it down. Like, nah, like, I just said only different thoughts, but what do you really love about them? That's something I always ask. Like, what is there that they have? All right, like, what are they bringing to you? They're not bringing anything to you. The only thing that they bring to you is your vision. And what hurts you afterwards is the vision you had of the relationship and what you thought it was, and the times that you spent together and things like that. This is you loving yourself. Weirdly, sorry, it is. It's not your fault. I understand why you do it. Everyone does it. They create such an illusion and mirror you that you love the vision that you had of yourself and the reflection back at you of what they were portraying. But really, there's nothing there beneath the surface of that. Beneath that illusionary, thing on the surface, there's nothing there. There's nothing there at all. So continue with your silence and leave them as a thing of the past. So anyway, thanks for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. You may donate or support to the channel if you want to. Check out the spiritual channel for more content. My podcast is now on Spotify. All links are in the description box below. So I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.